Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video I bring you guys my Orochi Rework complete guide. So today we're going to take a look at all the basics of the Orochi, and then I'm going to do some more advanced combos that will be a bit harder to use if you haven't played Orochi already. Now keep in mind, if you're an Orochi main or you're someone who's played Orochi a lot, there's not really going to be much here for you, but you can still watch the video if you want. But for everyone else who is just getting into the Orochi now, we're going to go through everything. What I'm going to do first is show you what's changed with the Orochi, and then I'm going to show you guys all the basics of the Orochi, and then of course we're going to move into all the advanced combos. Now one thing to keep in mind, I am going to be playing with an Xbox controller, okay, but I am playing on PC. So if you hear me say B for Feint and stuff like that, just convert it to whatever you're playing on, whether it's PS4 or using the mouse and keyboard. And with all of that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? Alrighty guys, so we're here with the Orochi. Now, we're going to be going through his moveset and what's changed. So first of all, we're going to be taking a look at his Riptide Strike. Now, the way you used to do the Riptide Strike was you used to do this weird thing with the joysticks, and then you used to hit heavy attack, and you'd jump back, and you'd slam him in the face. It was pretty slow. It was good at if you timed it right, you could smash people really hard with that as they attacked you. But now the way the new Riptide Strike works is you dash backwards, so you just do a normal dash backwards, and then you hit light attack, and then you go whoop, smack. Now, it's really fucking quick, okay? But you still got to use it as a counter-attacking move. Because if you're versing players and they're good at, blocking stuff, as soon as you do this, they're just going to block top. And then, of course, because it's a light attack, you're going to bounce off. And then they're going to do something to you. But keep in mind, okay, this move right here is freaking amazing. If you get the timing for this down, you become literally unstoppable, okay? No one can do anything to hit you. Because as soon as they go to attack, boom, you move back and you just come in and you slap them and they can't do shit. I have been heavily abusing people with this move and it's quite fun to use. Mash. Now, the next thing that's changed in the Orochi is the fact that his light attacks are really quick now. So he has these really quick light attacks, and they're good for blendering people up, okay? I think they're 400 MS now, which is pretty damn fast. So especially if you're playing on consoles, because light attacks are just absolute cancer on console, the Orochi now is just really good for fucking with people. Now, the next thing that's changed with the Orochi that we're going to be taking a look at is his Storm Rush. So before, Storm Rush would always come from either side, okay? Whichever one you do it, you just run in and you do that, okay? So you'd hit him with the attack. But now what you can do is you can go from any direction you want. So now if I want to go top, I can go top and I do this nice quick little attack. If I want to go from the left-hand side, I can do that as well. And then of course you got your standard one over here. Now they all have different pacings as well. So if you go for the top one, it is nice and quick, and you can see that little blue effect. That means you will catch people if they try and dodge, okay? So it's undodgeable. Bang. It's the same thing if you go for your forward dash into your light attack. Same sort of thing, as well as your side light attacks. Now if you go for the left hand one, it is slightly quicker than if you go for just the right hand one. That's the slowest one. And the good thing about this is you can change it as you're going, okay? So as you're running through, you can sort of change whichever direction you want to go. At the last second, you want to switch it up, you can switch it up. You want to stick top, you can stick top. You want to go right, boom. Now when you're versing the Orochi and he's coming at you, it will pop up for a few seconds before it hits you. So you will have some time to react, but once again, depending on which one he does, it's going to be very hard for you to deal with it. Now keep in mind as well, you can also still cancel this whichever direction you're going, okay? You just got to make sure you do it before you hit them. Now another thing that has changed with the Orochi when it comes to his Storm Rush is the fact that you used to be able to hit the Storm Rush and then you could hit a double top light attack, okay? So for those of you who don't know, with the Orochi, if you hit a first light attack from the top, you can get a guaranteed second one. So as long as you hit the first one, you can always get the second one guaranteed. Now, what you used to be able to do is go for the Storm Rush, hit them, and then hit that double guaranteed light attack to the top. But because they made the Storm Rush now go into your chains, okay, so it's a chain starter. As soon as you hit that Storm Rush, you will now go into your chain so you can start doing those blender attacks. But the sad part about that is you can no longer do the double tap to the top. Now what you can do is you can hit them, you can wait for them to recover and then double tap light top if you want, but at the same time it's not as cool. And of course, as soon as they get hit by this, if you don't follow up with anything, you just go for this, they're just going to block it most of the time. Now of course, that's a really cool thing you can do on consoles, so you can go for this, hit them with that, wait a second, and then double tap them if you want, because like I said, on consoles it's a lot harder to deal with these light fast attacks, but on PC pretty much never going to work. So that is a little bit of a shame. So next thing that's new is when you have your finisher moves, okay, So you'll do these finisher moves, 1, 2, and then you have this whole recovery period, okay? So you can see there where my guy, he sort of, you know, he can't attack anymore, and he's sort of just recovering from the attack. Now what you can do is you can dodge out of that now. So if you go for the 2 heavy attacks, you can then dodge straight out of it. Now this allows you to go into several different moves. So you can go 1, 2, and you can dodge and go for that light attack, okay? Or of course you can just simply do your 2 heavy attacks when you're doing the finisher, and then go into like a guard break. You can do double tap light, whichever one you want. So you can hit your 2, dodge out that finish recovery, and then double tap light. You can do zone, whatever you want. Now keep in mind, this is for any recovery when it's your finisher. So you can do your 3 lights, 1, 2, 3, dodge out, and then you can keep going. This allows the Orochi now to, like I said, just keep going. You can go on with whatever you want. As long as you get that finisher, you can just do whatever move you want afterwards, because you're now able to dodge. And that is pretty much all the new stuff with the Orochi. So now what we're going to do is, for those of you who are brand new to the game, I'm going to go through all the moves, and I'm going to tell you what everything does, and then we're going to get into some of the advanced combos. If you already know this sort of stuff and you don't want to sit through this, just skip ahead, okay, and get to the part where I start talking about the advanced combos. But for everyone else, let's get into it, shall we? So the first one we're looking at is the Crosswind Slashes, okay? So like I said, that's just 3 light attacks. So 1, 2, 3. They're 400 ms, they're really quick, and just keep in mind you don't want to do it from the exact same direction, okay? Because if you just do 3 from the same direction, yeah, it's quick, but most people are going to block the second one, and then of course, because it's a light attack, it's going to bounce off and it ends the chain, okay? The heavy attacks, you can sort of keep going, but if it's a light attack, it's just going to bounce off and you can't do anything else. So that's that one. Just make sure you switch it up and then just do 3 light attacks. Keep in mind as well, like I said, if you hit a light attack from the top, the second light attack is guaranteed, so make sure you always hit it twice if you hit it from the top. Next one is Gale Force Swipes. This is just a light attack followed by a heavy attack. So once again, you want to make sure you land the first one and then go for that heavy attack. And like I said before, you can also go from there, boom, you can dodge out of it and then go into other stuff if you want, because you've got that recovery time now, which you can get rid of with a dodge. Next one is Cyclone Slashes. This is just 2 light attacks followed by a heavy attack. Now keep in mind as well, your 2 light attacks from the top count for this chain. So 1, 2, and then you go for that heavy, bang. Okay, that counts. Now that is a really good way to do it, because if you do these 2 light attacks from different directions, like I said, most of the time people are just going to block it, but if you get that first one from the top, it's guaranteed, and then of course you can hit that heavy. Just make sure you be careful with throwing out just random heavies. They're very easy to parry, and you'll get parried a lot, which will mean you're going to get, like, you know, hit and pretty much fucked up a lot. Next one is Tidal Wave Slashes. This is the exact same combo as a Cyclone Slashes, except it's in reverse. So this time you're doing a heavy attack, followed by 2 light attacks. Now this one is a little bit different though, because if you hit your initial heavy attack, okay, you then can't do the double tap light, because it starts as that chain combo type thing. So it will do the 2 fast light attacks even if you do it from the top. So with this one, it's best to switch it up. So you hit that first heavy attack, then you want to switch it up to 2 different directions, because you won't get that double tap light. It'll just do 2 light attacks from the top and they'll block the second one. Next up is Maelstorm Slashes. This is a heavy, light, heavy chain. Looks like this. So you go heavy attack, light, and heavy. Pretty simple. Once again, this is pretty much parry bait, and you're not going to be doing this one much. Same with the next one, and that is the Lightning Strikes twice. Okay, this is just 2 flat out heavies. You're never going to really land this. Everyone's just going to block it, or they're going to parry it, and then they're going to, you know, pretty much fuck you up. So you want to be very careful with using this one. Most of the time, you're going to be feinting those heavy attacks. Next up is the Crushing Wave. Now, this is just when you're in free roam mode, okay? You want to hit heavy attack, and then you'll come in and slam them like that. It's a good opener if you're playing Dominion and stuff, because you can just come in while someone's not looking, and you can hit them with a heavy. Up next is the Riptide Strike. Now, like I said, this is a dash forward, and then you want to hit a light attack, like so. Now you want to use this mainly as an offensive tool, as a counter-attacking measure, okay? So whenever you see them go for an attack, just dash back, hit that light attack, and you'll pretty much fuck them up every time. It's extremely hard for them to deal with, especially if they throw out an attack. Be very careful though, because you will get people who will go for a heavy feint to get you to do this, and then they'll parry your attack, or they'll block it and then guard break you, so on and so forth. So you want to make sure they have committed to the attack before you do it, because it's quick enough for you to get out of the way and still hit them. And then you know that, you know, once they've thrown an attack, they can't feint it anymore once it's past that startup phase. So then you know you're safe to do that and counter-attack properly. Next up, we have the Storm Rush like before. So it's just simple. Dodge back, heavy attack, and then pick the direction you want to go in. The right side is the slow one. The left side is the semi-slow one. The top one is the quick one. And it is also undodgeable, but only the top one. Okay, the other two you can still dodge them, but yeah, you can sort of pick whichever way you want to go. It's Pretty cool. Next up is Lightning Strike. Now this is a dash forward into a light attack and it is undodgeable. Simple like that. So this is really good for just closing the gap, okay? Hitting someone with a quick light. Once again, if you're a little bit far away and you see them go for an attack, you can dive in and just hit them before they get a chance to do anything. It's pretty much just a forward version, okay, of your new Riptide Strike. Next up is the Zephyr Slash, and this is just a side dodge either way, and then just go for a light attack. Once again, it's undodgeable. Keep in mind though, it is a light attack, so it will bounce off just like that. But the really good thing about this is it's a massive and awesome counter-attacking tool like everything else in the Orochi's kit. The Orochi is just one giant counter-attacker now, which is great. Because like I said, if they go to attack from the right-hand side, you dodge at the same time, you're going to dodge their attack, you're going to hit them with a light, it's going to piss them off greatly, and you can pretty much dodge whichever way you want. So between the 4 different attacks, you can pretty much dodge and cancel out all their attacks if you're quick enough on it, okay? So if you see them go for a top attack, you can go bang, hit them with that. You see them do any other attack, you can dash backwards, go for a Riptide Strike, and then of course if they attack from any direction, you can just dodge to the side and hit them with a light. If you're able to read people and what they're going to do, and you're very quick with like reacting to people, they're never going to hit you. So next up is your Wind Gust and Hurricane Blast. I'll show you guys this in a second. Just got to get the bot to do heavy attacks. Alright guys, so we got the bot doing some heavy attacks. Now to do this, you just want to dodge in at the last second. So you just want to wait for the last second, wait for his attack to glow, and then you want to hit your light attack. That is how you do the Wind Gust. So once again, guys, you just want to wait to the very last second, and then you want to dive in, okay? So dodge into the attack when you see it glow now, and then hit your light attack. Now, the other version of this is the Hurricane Blast. Now, this is a heavy attack, and there is something special you can do with this as well. So you want to dive in, heavy attack, boom. Now, as you can see, you get hyper armor with this thing. Okay, right there, you get hyper armor and it's unblockable. It does a bunch of damage, but the downside to this is it is kind of slow, so they can hit you out of it, some characters, at that very startup. Now, a cool thing you can do with this is you can cancel out of it by hitting guard break, okay? This is amazing. If you manage to actually land this thing, you can then cancel it with a guard break, or you can cancel it with a Zephyr Strike, okay? So you can go and then, boom, guard break, or you can go into it and then go for a side light attack. Now, of course, you're always going to go for that guard break because you get a lot more out of it than you do the Zephyr Strike. And then again, you can just go full balls to the wall and just let it rip and just hit him for a massive attack. Most people tend to go for the light Wind Gust attack, but I can tell you right now, get used to going for the Hurricane Blast because one, it has that hyper armor, you can just hit him for a big attack, and of course, you can also cancel it into that guard break, which if you land the guard break, gives you a free heavy. Alright guys, so next thing you need to realize about the Orochi is that he has a Reflex Guard. So as you can see, the Warden's Guard is a constant thing. My one is currently blacked out, so if I move it to one side, it will stay as a normal guard for a little bit and then will go away. This means that, you know, I can't just hold it here and then wait for the Warden to attack because he would just hit me and it won't work. So you got to make sure that as someone swings at you, if you want to block the attack, you have to quickly throw your stick in the direction that they're hitting you from, and then of course block it that way. So most Orochis and assassins, you'll see they'll sit there and they'll do this. This is their way of, one, screwing with you so they can, like, you know, throw out little fast attacks at you. And two, it's also another way for them to quickly be able to just react and go flick it to the top. Because most people, if they're sitting there like this, someone might throw an attack this way and feint, and if you go like this and then they hit you with a top attack, it's going to go through and hit you. So you'll see most assassins tend to do this, but keep in mind, like I said, you have a Reflex Guard and it decays over time, and it's pretty quick. As you can see, that goes away fairly quick. I've already shown you guys the deflects. I've shown you guys a top light attack combo, which is, once again, once you hit the first one, you get a guaranteed second one. That's just your chain starters, saying that, you know, your Storm Rush, Riptide Strike, Lightning Strike, Zephyr Strike, and Wind Gust can initiate chains. Once again, that just means as you go in, you can then go into different attacks. The Storm Rush top stance is undodgeable, which I said before, and of course, you can cancel your Storm Rush by pressing B or the feint button, whichever button it is for you guys, convert it accordingly, but you can, you know, cancel that before you hit them. Just make sure you do it just before you hit them, because if you don't, it's going to go through like that. So you want to wait till you get pretty close and then cancel it. Now keep in mind, you will like do that extra couple of steps, okay, so you don't just stop instantly. So keep that in mind as well. So those are the basics of the Orochi. Now we're going to get into a whole bunch of combos, and this is more of the advanced stuff. If you're, you know, been playing Orochi for a while, you probably know all these, and they're probably very easy for you to do. For anyone else who's, you know, just picking up Orochi, this stuff will take a little bit of getting used to, but the more you play him, the easier it gets. So the first one we're going to do is, you know, fuck around with his heavy feint combos, okay? So the first one we're going to talk about is his heavy feint, okay? So that's just heavy attack, and then at the startup of the move, you want to hit your feint button for the Xbox controller. It is B. Okay, and then what we're going to do is you're going to do that heavy feint, and then you're going to double light attack top. Now, the good thing about this is, the whole reason why we heavy and we feint is to draw out parries. Now, this is a really good way to counter it, because if you heavy feint and then hit your double top light, your light attack will be faster than their heavy attack if they mess up the parry. So that's why we do that. It's also a good way to just get damage down. It's nice and quick, and it confuses people. Make sure, though, if you do the heavy attack, you do it from the right or the left. Don't do it from the top. Don't heavy feint top attack, okay? Because they're just going to be blocking the top anyway. The only way it's going to work is if they go for that miss parry, okay? And they throw a heavy out instead. Of course, you're going to beat them to the punch with your double lights. So that's the first one, and now the rest of them go off the exact same principle, except this time what we're going to do is heavy feint and then zone attack, okay? For those of you who don't know, a zone attack is just a heavy and light attack at the exact same time. And you will do that. It will always come out of the same direction. So even if I have top, it'll come out from the left. And it is pretty damn quick. So once again, you just want a heavy feint, okay, and then zone attack. That is quick, and most people will not be able to stop that. It's the exact same principle with the double top lights. Next one is the exact same thing, but you want a guard break this time. So you want a heavy feint, and then guard break. And then of course, if you land it and they don't counter guard break it, you want to go and hit that heavy attack. It's free. Now keep in mind as well that if you go for the heavy feint and you guard break, even if they throw out a heavy because they fucked up that parry, you're still going to be able to guard break them, because guard breaks stop heavies at the very startup. So if someone throws a heavy attack out and you go for a guard break and you get it as it's starting up with that heavy, it will cancel out their heavy, you will get your guard break, and then you hit them with a free heavy. So once again, you just want a heavy feint guard break, and then slap them with that heavy. But keep in mind, if they are quick enough, they can counter guard break it. Next up, you want a heavy feint, okay, and then dash to either side, and you want to essentially just hit a light attack, okay? So we use that Zephyr Strikes. So you want a heavy feint, and then dash to either side and do that. Now keep in mind, this one here will not work unless they go for that parry and they mess it up and they throw out a heavy attack, okay? Because if you go for the heavy feint and then you dash to the side and they don't mess up, you know, they don't go for the parry and they just wait for it, they're going to parry that, okay? Because it is quick going from side to side, but that is parry bait, okay? But if they throw out the heavy, it's going to be fine, because like I said, they're coming down with a heavy. You're going to beat them on that because it's a fast light attack. So keep that in mind. That one you won't use as much as, like, you know, the other ones, but at least it's something you can do. Now we're going to start showing you guys some Storm Rush combos, and there are a fair few of these you can do, and they're all variations of, you know, just the different moves the Orochi can do. So the first one is going to be a Storm Rush. You're then going to cancel it at the last second, hit a guard break, and go for that heavy. So you want Storm Rush, cancel, guard break, and then heavy attack. Now this is a really cool move, because like I said, if you go like this and you go for that Storm Rush, they're going to think you're coming from whichever side, because at the last second they see the direction it's coming from. So if I have it here on the right, I go for that, it's going to look like it's coming from the right, and then you can go out of it with a guard break. Now keep in mind as well, they can also counter guard break that if they're quick enough, but you'll get people every now and then, which means you get a free heavy. Next one is the exact same thing, Storm Rush. You're going to cancel it and then hit them with that double top light attack. Cancel, double top light attack. You can do this from either way you want. Double tap light attack, okay? Boom, boom. Nice and quick. Same sort of principle. It's a fast move that you can do. It's confusing the enemy. They don't know what you're going to do. You could either come in and go for that guard break for that heavy. They don't know what you're going to do until you do it. You could come in and go for that double top light attack. Or of course you can do the next one, which is come in, cancel, and then hit that zone attack. Now you can see what we're doing here. We have the Storm Rush move, and then from that we're doing 3 different things, and they have to guess what's coming. And because 2 of the things you're doing, okay, which is the double top lights and of course the zone attack, both of those are really quick, they're gonna have to just, you know, try and maybe go for those, and they're gonna have to be really quick on that guard break button as well if they want to counter guard break it. It just gives you more options, and of course it's more things that they have to think about. Now one key thing to remember when it comes to the Storm Rush, the easiest way to shut this thing down straight away is to just throw out a light attack or a heavy attack when you see the Orochi come flying in. If you go flying in, okay, no matter which direction you come from, and they throw out a light attack, they're going to hit you before you can do anything, and it's going to cancel the whole thing out. That's why most of the time you want to try and cancel this into something else, okay? You can even come in, cancel it, and then parry the attack that they're coming, you know, they're throwing out at you to stop you if you're good enough. But you want to mainly use the Storm Rush when, of course, you know, they're throwing a different attack, so use it as a dodge move and then go in and slap them, or if they're not looking, stuff like that. If they're looking directly at you, You don't want to go using it and trying to land it straight away because it's not going to work most of the time. They're just going to throw out a light attack and they're going to stop you. Now the next one we're going to be doing is another Storm Rush one, but these are the more advanced ones and they will take a little bit of like, you know, practice in order to get them down. But once you get them down, they're pretty cool and they can really confuse people. So the first one is you're going to Storm Rush, you're going to cancel it, you're then going to heavy feint, okay, and then double tap light, okay, from the top. So here we go. You want to Storm Rush, cancel, heavy feint, and then tap tap, okay? Storm Rush cancel, heavy feint, tap tap. Nice and quick, it's pretty cool, and once again you will either catch them in a parry bait, or of course they'll be like freaking out trying to block which direction you're coming from, and then you're going to hit them with a double light anyway. Now this is going to be the same principle for the rest of the moves, but we're going to once again use different things. So the next one is you want to do the exact same thing. So Storm Rush, you want to cancel it, you want to heavy feint, and then you want to go into a guard break, and then of course if you land the guard break you want to go for that free heavy. Storm Rush, cancel, heavy feint, guard break, boom, slap him in the face. One more time. Storm Rush, cancel, heavy feint, guard break, and slap him in the head. So the next one we're doing is you're going to Storm Rush, you're going to cancel it, you're going to heavy feint and go for a zone. This one is very tricky to do because they made the zone timing really short now, and it's quite hard to do on the fly, especially when you got lots of people attacking you. But if you get really good at doing it, once again, it's another tool to just really confuse people and fuck them up. So you want to Storm Rush, cancel, heavy feint, and then zone attack. Okay? It's very hard to do, I can tell you that right now, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty cool. So you want to Storm Rush, cancel, heavy feint, and then zone attack. Now, next one I want to show you guys is just this move right here. Okay? Your new Riptide Strikes. This thing is amazing for how quick it is. So you see when I'm actually using it, someone throws a heavy out, you want to wait, and then at the last second, it's almost like parry timing. You just want to wait for it. He can't do anything now. He's committed to that attack, okay? And you can do the exact same thing with your side lights. Now make sure you always do it from the direction they're attacking. If it's a top attack, you can do it whichever way you want. If it's from a side attack, if you actually do it from a side. That's right. So you just want to do it from the side that they're attacking from. And then of course you have your deflects as well, but I just wanted to show you how awesome the new Riptide Strike is. It's just that last second, oh, you think you're going to land an attack, nope, go fuck yourself, okay? It's really, really cool. Now you can switch it for that as well if you want to start getting some of those, want to get some of those Storm Rushes in as well. But I just personally love the Riptide Strike. It's just last second, out you go, and then you want to tap them like that. Boom. Last second timing is your best friend. Now, this is a bit harder, but if you want to do it, you can do it with light attacks. Now, of course, light attacks are quicker, so you're going to have to wait for it, but boom, it doesn't matter how fast it is, you still can do it. If you're quick enough on the draw, you can dash out, and then, of course, you can come in for that counter attack. So just remember, it's the parry timing, but you're dashing backwards, okay, and you're hitting that light attack. Nice and quick. No one can touch you. If you master this move right here, no one can touch you unless they start doing some really tricky shit, like have hyper armor, or they're like, you know, heavy feinting and all that sort of crap. If they're just going for just standard attacks, there's nothing really they can do. And you'll crush them every single time, and you can just whittle them away nice and slow. But yeah, those are the basics. That's everything that's changed with the Orochi, and of course, that's a whole bunch of these, advanced moves you can do, and you can start pulling out whenever you want. Master the ones you like, and the ones that you know are going to work pretty damn well for you. Get used to them, and then just start throwing them out. And the one thing about the Orochi is just be real patient, okay? And just play him as a counter attacker. You can play him offensively because he's quick now, just try and blend the people. But if you really want to be satisfied with how this guy plays, play him as a counter attacker. Just wait for people to attack and just slowly pick them apart and just watch them get angrier and angrier. Be very careful though if you're versing a Highlander or someone with hyper armor, because they're not going to give a fuck and they're just going to go through all your attacks and rape you anyway. So be very careful with that. But apart from that, have fun with the Orochi. The rework is pretty damn solid, and now he's very freaking playable, and he's very fun to play as well. But that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. And feel free to check out my Discord and Twitter. There is a link down below in the description box for both of those as well. The Discord is a great way for me to talk to you guys outside the YouTube comments section. And of course, the Twitter is a great way for you guys to get a notification whenever a video is being uploaded, because YouTube is a bit weird sometimes. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and a link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my current Patreon patrons whose names you've been seeing in the background. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. And please share this video around, it does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.